Greetings, everyone, and welcome. March the 12th, about 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'm coming at you with a breaking news update that really is jumping off of the video I just released about an hour and a half ago. It is blatantly obvious that Putin is already moving the ball back to Donald Trump's court, and I'm going to validate it for you right now. Thank you for being here, subscribing, liking, commenting. Please drop a comment after the video on what your thoughts are of this, but this is breaking news right now. Vladimir Putin just arrived this afternoon in Kursk in military uniform. So my question, you can see it in the thumbnail title, this is peace. It's interesting, Donald Trump earlier saying that the USA was well on the way to solving this and making this work out with Vladimir Putin and the war in Ukraine. Additionally, Marco Rubio said earlier, hopefully in a few days we will have a truce. So you have Trump and Vance and Rubio and Witkoff and all those guys saying all of that stuff. And what does Vladimir Putin do? He puts on his military uniform and he goes to Kursk. This is absolutely what I expected 100%. He's already making his moves and you need to see it. There he is, Vladimir Putin. Behind him is Gerasimov, and they are rolling to the update meeting in Kursk. And this is the first time that Vladimir Putin has been to the Kursk region since the war began. Now, here's what's interesting. This is not normal for Russia. This is not normal for Vladimir Putin. Even in military parades, victory days, Putin is always in his suit and tie. Rarely, if ever, does Vladimir Putin put on the military uniform of the commander-in-chief. Putin in uniform is a clear signal that the ceasefire proposal will not be that simple. I think it's fair enough we can say that. He rarely appears in military uniform, and this gesture seems symbolic, especially immediately after the Washington proposal for a ceasefire. Ladies and gentlemen, it's just 24 hours ago. 24 hours ago, we were just getting the information out about the meeting between the United States and Ukraine. The military aid resumed, the satellite technology resumed, and just a few hours later, Vladimir Putin is walking into the Kursk general headquarters there and having a meeting in his military uniform. So the question is, do you think Putin will accept the U.S. offer? Drop your comment there. That's a good question to answer with a comment. Do you really think? I mean, come on. This is what a powerful statement being made. He speaks in Kursk, and I'm going to show you the video of this. He says, our task is to defeat the enemy entrenched in the Kursk region in the shortest possible time. He declares that Russia will treat Ukrainian servicemen and foreign mercenaries captured in the Kursk region as terrorists. Listen to that closely, as terrorists. Putin ordered special thought to be given to the creation of a security zone along the Russian-Ukrainian border. This is meaning actually a buffer zone on the Kharkiv and Sumy regions, on those lines, meaning consideration of pushing into Sumy and pushing more into Kharkiv so that a buffer zone can be made for the real border of Russia. It's absolutely bonkers what is unfolding right now, and I'm so looking forward to seeing your responses in the chat. Here's some of the video. Here's Putin arriving. Of course, that's Gerasimov going into the headquarters here. You can see in the upper right, Kremlin.ru, Kremlin.ru. Okay, got to do the handshake. Gerasimov's leading him. He says, okay, now you got to go to the left. Oh, everybody here, attention. He comes into the meeting. Now, what did he say? Well, I'll give you a couple clips of that. I will not mess your head up with everything he said. He goes on greeting, thanking every serviceman, calling them by brigade numbers, thanking them for their sacrificial work. I mean, goes through it like crazy. The stuff like you've seen Zelensky do, and he's sitting there in his uniform. But there's a couple of key things we need to hear. This is the first one.
Our immediate task is to swiftly defeat the enemy entrenched in the Kursk region, who's still fighting there. We must fully liberate the Kursk region. Please convey my gratitude to all personnel for their recent efforts. I'm confident that all combat missions assigned to our units will be successfully completed and the Kursk region will soon be fully liberated from the enemy.
So there you have it. Okay, so immediate task is to liberate completely the Kursk region. I can tell you right now, it runs around on the social media and out there that Ukraine has fled out of the Kursk region, out of Sudzha. It is not true. They have backed up. They've went to different positions. I will give you Siersky and Zelensky's answer to that in just a minute. But Russia pushing like crazy, not only Russia, the Russian army and the North Korean army. Now, here is the craziest thing that he said. The craziest thing he said as the commander-in-chief of the Russian terrorist army. Listen to this one.
People in the Kursk region committing crimes against civilians and opposing our forces are terrorists under Russian law. The Prosecutor General's office classifies their actions as terrorism, leading to criminal cases by the Investigative Committee. Valerievich just mentioned prisoners. We must treat these people as terrorists in accordance with Russian Federation laws.
So there you have it. Ukrainian prisoners are terrorists, and we must treat them according to Russian law, not Geneva Convention. Of course, we know that doesn't mean anything to Russia, but you're hearing him, you're seeing him. This is not AI, ladies and gentlemen. This is not made up. This is absolutely believable. I know you thought I was going to say unbelievable, but absolutely not. We have shared day after day after day that Vladimir Putin is all in. Kim Jong-un is all in. Iran is all in. Xi Jinping is all in. Donald Trump is elected and has 4 years. European leaders change. Western leaders change. This is the difference people have to understand. That is why this evil dictator, Putin, can jump in his uniform after understanding that a truce settlement or a truce negotiation possibility is on the way to Moscow, jumps in his uniform and heads to Kursk and calls the Ukrainian prisoners of war terrorists, and they must be treated so accordingly to Russian law. And we have to finish the battles in the Kursk region. Now, Zelensky did respond, but he actually responded about Kursk earlier in the day. I have that video clip for you, and I can also share with you that Siersky has responded. Siersky just a few minutes ago stating Ukrainian military continues fighting in the suburbs of Sudzha and the surrounding areas. He stated the main priority is to save the lives of soldiers, so if necessary, units maneuver to more advantageous positions. Yes, Ukraine is backing up and they are refortifying in different positions. As of 6 p.m., our troops had successfully repelled 8 enemy assault attacks in the Kursk direction. Despite intense pressure from Russia, North Korea forces, look at it, despite intense pressure from Russian and North Korean forces, the defense will last as long as necessary. That's what Siersky is saying. What did Zelensky say? This is what he said.
Troops in Kursk region are fulfilling their mission. Russians are trying to exert maximum pressure on our forces. Command's doing its job, preserving our soldiers' lives.
I can also tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that right now, just breaking in the last couple of hours, 11 glide bombs was dropped on Konstantinivka and Druzhkivka. It's over there by Chasiv Yar and Bakhmut. 11 glide bombs. Yes, there are dead, there are wounded, and massive devastation against residential buildings and homes. Additionally, Kharkiv under attack, and additionally, there is more DRG activity trying to push in right now in the Sumy Oblast, Sumy region. This is what is happening right now while the West, led by probably not the West, let's just say the Americans, the American team are hopeful that we can move toward a truce here very soon because, remember, we trust Vladimir Putin. That is exactly what President Donald J. Trump said. I trust Putin. Putin won't lie to me. Listen, Zelensky has said it, and the world knows it. If the Russians are speaking, especially Vladimir Putin, he is lying. The guy just slapped the West in the face today by putting on his uniform and heading to the front. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be changing nonstop. If you have not subscribed and had the notification bell on, I ask you to please consider doing that so that we can keep you updated, because this world is changing at breakneck speed, and we want to do our best to share the truth, stand with Ukraine, and stand with what is right. You guys be blessed. We'll be back at you. Absolutely bonkers what's happening.